All right. So the other day I was talking to a customer, and one of the things that they approached me with was the need to be able to communicate with folks in other languages. And the particular use case that was brought up was they were a native English speaker. They didn't speak any foreign languages, took a little bit in high school. Um, but they had a need to be able to communicate some information to, someone around addressing a medical issue like chronic pain and just to get them some basic information. And the problem was they didn't have a write up particular for that person pre made. And typically, what they'd have to do is then go to somebody, they would have stuff, researched, the information pulled together, synthesized, and then a native speaker put it together. Takes a lot of time. So what they wanted to be able to do is do so much quicker. So in this case, I'm going to use Microsoft Word just to show our example of drafting a document in another language. And you can do this for anything, but in this particular case, I'm going to come up here and we're going to go ahead and click our little icon right there. We get our pop-up. We're going to go ahead and paste. I said, write me a detailed description of addressing chronic pain and write it in Spanish. So as I click generate, a little bit about that. I went out onto the web and I pulled down some white papers on chronic pain. They're publicly available ones. The reason being that I wanted things that would reflect that. All those papers are written in English. Nothing is written in Spanish. But you can see here what it's doing. I asked it a question. I directed it to put it in Spanish. I could have said French or German. Um, and it's now drafting a document for me in another language. And I can do that about anything, right? In this case, I'm bringing a medical, you know, uh, bent to it, but it doesn't have to be. It could be about something in IT or whatever the case might be, where I want to breach that gap and not have to go through the long, drawn out process of working with somebody to pull together information, synthesize it into what we want to say, and then have it translated. Now I can take this given document that was done, and I know just enough Spanish to see how it says, what is chronic pain, what are some of the symptoms, and it goes on from there, right? And so, what I can do now is take it to that person who is a native speaker that I would have had translate a whole piece around, research and synthesis, etc., and just have them peruse and edit. And there we go. I've drafted a document in Spanish without being a Spanish speaker. So, with that, Mike Giannotti here. I hope you found this little tip helpful. Take care, and as always, check out those snacks.